Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to completely challenge a huge, long-held myth in the agency world. I mean, we've all been there, right? You spend weeks prepping this massive pitch, you pull out all the stops for a flashy, high-stakes project launch, and boom, you win the client. We just naturally assume that this grand gesture, this single impressive project, is the ultimate key to winning and keeping that client's trust for good. But what if I told you that the foundation of every single long-term client relationship isn't actually built on those rare, massive victories? Instead, it's built through small, consistent, and frankly, kind of unglamorous signals over time. So today, we're exploring the 7 trust signals that agencies can strengthen to absolutely guarantee long-term retention. Okay, let's dive right into this. Look at this number. Nearly 76% of clients say that consistency across multiple ongoing interactions matters way more to their trust than any single impressive outcome. Think about that for a second. To put that into perspective, more than 3/4 of your clients care more about how you interact with them on a random Tuesday in month 6 of your contract than they do about all the fireworks of launch day. So, what does this all mean? Well, to really understand this, we need to contrast the pure adrenaline of winning a pitch with the actual day-to-day reality of keeping a client. A single, strong project can absolutely win you the client. The fireworks get your foot in the door for sure. But, fireworks fade. It's the ongoing, brick-by-brick reliability that acts as the true driver of loyalty. It's a daily marathon. Clients evaluate your agency's reliability through delivery timelines, through everyday communication, and through the maintained quality of work over a long period. And honestly, this is exactly why agencies that lack the internal capacity to maintain these signals often struggle to grow client confidence, no matter how amazing their initial pitch was. All right, let's break this down into 3 acts, starting with Act 1, the foundation, looking specifically at delivery and quality. So, focusing on the baseline, day-to-day expectations, we have 2 foundational elements: consistent delivery timelines and stable quality across projects. I know, they sound like the most unglamorous parts of agency life, but they are utterly vital. These are literally the 2 primary metrics clients use to prove to themselves that your agency can be counted on project after project. Let's look a bit closer at each of these. First up, delivery timelines. Predictability builds unbreakable client confidence. It sounds so simple, but we all know that in an agency environment, workload fluctuates wildly. One week you're slow, the next week you're completely underwater. Maintaining consistent timelines, especially during those crazy busy periods, is exactly how you reassure clients that you can handle their workload regardless of the complexity. And this is where having a highly dependable, white-label development partner, like the experts at Viral Chili, becomes a literal game changer. They add instant capacity during your busy periods, helping your agency avoid those dreaded delays that instantly damage this foundational trust signal. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we define stable quality at scale. Clients immediately notice when quality fluctuates. Actually, they don't just notice it, they feel it. If your top developer works on Project A, it's flawless. But if an overworked junior team member takes on Project B, the client sees that dip in craftsmanship right away. Scalable consistency means maintaining high standards regardless of project size, timing, or which specific team members are involved. Reliable development partners who follow strict, documented standards help agencies maintain this stable quality. This signals deep professionalism and gives clients absolute confidence that every single project will hit the exact same high bar. Okay, moving on to Act 2, the crucible. This is all about navigating setbacks and crises. Because let's be real, what happens when things go wrong? This is the high-pressure moment that truly tests an agency. We have all felt the anxiety of this exact question: what happens during unexpected delays? Imagine it right now: a Friday night server crash, a sudden API deprecation, or a timeline that's just slipping completely out of your control. How an agency handles these exact moments says vastly more about their trustworthiness than how they handle a perfectly smooth, easy project. Which brings us to the 3rd trust signal: transparent communication during setbacks. It's a critical rule, guys. Honesty is vastly superior to vague reassurance. We all have this natural tendency to want to hide delays, right? To kind of wait until a deadline passes in the hopes we can magically fix it at the 11th hour. But development partners who flag issues early give your agency the critical information you need to communicate honestly with the client right away. This transparent communication, even when the news is super disappointing, demonstrates massive accountability and respect for the client's time. Believe it or not, it actually strengthens trust far more than silence ever could. Then we have the 4th signal: your responsiveness to urgent requests. Think about security issues, unexpected downtime, or sudden urgent client needs.
Clients deeply trust agencies that can respond quickly when the pressure is really on. But here's the catch. If your internal team is totally maxed out on routine work, you simply can't pivot. Having extra capacity from a dependable partner like Viral Chili allows your agency to respond to these crises swiftly. A fast, capable response during a high-pressure moment leaves a massively stronger positive impression than months of just routine, day-to-day work. You literally become their hero.
Let's move to Act 3 and see how this all builds into growth, focusing on expertise, support, and scoping. As you'll see here, this is the final phase where the consistency you've established literally unlocks much larger projects. Take a look at the active development phase. Having a proven track record on complex builds is a massive trust signal. Specialized development partners empower your agency to confidently pursue technically demanding work that you might otherwise just avoid. Successfully completing these builds creates a track record that naturally attracts larger client opportunities over time. Then, looking at the post-launch phase, clients absolutely trust agencies that remain accessible and helpful after a project concludes. Dependable ongoing maintenance proves to the client that the relationship isn't just a one-off transactional thing. It completely cements long-term loyalty.
And that leads us straight to our final trust signal, honest scoping.
And this brilliantly illustrates the cause and effect chain for a nearly universal pain point for agencies: honest scoping and pricing. It's basically a domino effect. It starts with an accurate assessment of project complexity, which is often aided by your development partner. That leads to a realistic scope and pricing rather than just lowballing to win the business. Because the scope is realistic, you completely avoid downstream scope disputes, and we all know that is an agency's worst nightmare. And the final result? Long-term loyalty. Clients who feel they received fair, transparent pricing from the very start are significantly more likely to trust your agency's judgment on future projects, completely ignoring competitive offers from anyone else. So how do you actually pull all of this off? Let's look at the invisible engine, scaling with reliable partners. Look, maintaining all 7 of these trust signals at scale is nearly impossible to do entirely alone as you grow. That is exactly why a white label partner like Viral Chili acts as the invisible engine for so many successful agencies. So the crucial point is this quote right here. Trust is built through consistent signals over time, not a single impressive project. A single great project wins the pitch, sure, but beautiful, predictable consistency is the absolute key to sustainable agency growth and keeping those clients around for the long haul. So I'm going to leave you with this one provocative question to chew on. Can your agency maintain these 7 trust signals if your workload doubles tomorrow? If the answer is no, or even a hesitant maybe, it might be time to honestly evaluate your true capacity. Consider how a reliable development partnership could be the key to unlocking your agency's next stage of growth, ensuring that no matter how absolutely crazy busy you get, your clients always feel like they are your #1 priority. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep building that trust.